Well, I had went outside when the idiots were outside my client's house again. And where I rambled about, there was an older man came up to me. For every idle word you tell on us, I'll turn it on you. You try to leave Dave, I'll list you a dirty word. That's exactly how he put it. All right. Silencing a witness or an informant is a felony. Some guy yelled out that that was actually the guy pretending to be Karen's Will. Will didn't know anything. One of the last times I talked to his secretary, Will tell those police up there, we're busy. They put me in police protected custody. As an informant, the police were supposed to take care of me. It was one of the goons working for Dave. They even threatened me if I told, they would put a $25,000 fine on me if I couldn't afford it. They'd put me in jail, trying to keep me quiet for the crimes they were doing to me. Nobody drugs anybody. And I was drugged up there so bad, I weighed 212 to 217, October 1st of 18, and by February 24th, I weighed 150 pounds. I couldn't even keep saliva down. I'd pull over and throw up along the side of the road. Every time Dave would touch my drinks, I'd run to the bathroom and throw up and get dizzy. There was times before it started, I was already getting sick. I would go out and look in the yard. I would come in, wash my hands, make something to eat, get something to drink. Go in and use the bathroom, wash my hands, sit down, take a drink, and get dizzy, and hours would pass. And think, God, I must have been really overworking. Here they were roofing me and drugging me, and I had bruises I couldn't explain. Sizes of oranges and grapefruits and hand marks embedded in my arm. One time I even woke up with a gash as long as a cigarette. My leg was bleeding. I called Dave. He's like, maybe I got you with a toenail. That's no toenail cut. People said they were even abusing me under amnesia drugs. I was talking to this one retired officer today, and he said those amnesia drugs, they can actually drug you, tell you to go do something, and you'll do it. Okay? And you won't remember. He said those things are dangerous, and they have control over you, and you don't remember. The roofies. It's 20 years. First thing I said to Abigail Watkins, Portage County prosecutor, FBI don't use sodium pentyl. I know. Nobody does. I know. Nobody drugs anybody. I know. You know who drugs people? Occults, terrorists, and villains. That's it. And nobody watches them in their home but stalkers and terrorists. You don't get a quarter to watch somebody. It is the special protected like cases only per Department of Justice. And that's why the local officers are laughing at the scenario. Nobody could be in your home until Will took your statement and agreed to protect you. They couldn't even be in your home. Department of Justice. Fourth Amendment, right to privacy. Who do you report? Police agencies or anybody's surveillance in your home. Department of Justice, FBI, local police department, and ICE. Fourth Amendment. Department of Justice wrote this. Fourth Amendment. The man's home is his castle and not to be entered into. It's legal search and seizure. Further into the law, police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life. Failure to notify before initiating and speaking to the other person in the home is abuse and misconduct, and failure to protect is abuse and misconduct. And that goes into a legal search and seizure. That's why Officer Reinhardt in Louisville, until Will took your statement and agreed to protect you, no one could be in your home. It'd be illegal to look or listen. It would be. It would cost any officer their badge. People need to realize they live in the United States of America. They have a right to privacy. They have a right to remain quiet, a right to legal representation, and a right to a fair court trial, bail, and bond. They also have a right to vote. They have a right to worship whatever God they want. And they also have a right to read a book, look at the news, and read a newspaper. There's a freedom of press. There's a lot more rights. And our forefathers set it up that the government and no one could ever hurt you. And what is happening to me is domestic terrorism. Domestic terrorism is a group of people to further their ideology, their way of belief, by threats to human life and harm to human life. You cannot break in and roofie drinks. You can't stalk them. Photoshop a shower scene. And drug them and tell them to say something stupid. And they've never been questioned. Never had Miranda rights or wrongdoing. Never prosecuted and never found guilty. That's crazy shit. It's serial killing shit. And people need to realize, somebody had said last year they're nothing but murderers. They are. Like they told Ed, December 9, 21, 4 p.m. It's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here to see if someone will stop them. And that all the tapes before were them, not her. And all the local police already know. And they still don't shut up.